Underachiever.
Mm.
I'm going to tell you why. It's one of the greatest players to ever play the game. 9 All-NBA selections in his career, 9 All-Star selections, and top 10 finishes in league MVP voting 9 times. And he has more of that than postseason series wins. That's unacceptable. You don't look at somebody that dominant, that fantastic, with that kind of fire in his belly to compete on a night in, night out basis, and all you have is one championship to show for it.
What is up, you guys? Welcome back here to my channel, Just Simply Sports. If you are new here, I welcome you. I need you to please hit the like and subscribe. But I need everybody, first off, to hit the like button. If you're new here, you're not new, you've been rocking out with me, I appreciate you. I always say that, but I need you guys to do me a solid and hit that like button for the algorithm. Please do me that solid. I appreciate you immensely. You guys, I feel like my guy Stephen A just be catching strays. Sometimes I agree with him, sometimes I don't. But I really feel like a lot of what he says sometimes is taken out of context. He spoke out last week about Giannis, right? And he said that he felt that his career will, I guess, be underachieved. He will have underachieved in his career should he not get another ring, right? And it has led to a larger conversation about ring culture, all these different things. Look at this video right here.
Damn. That's backwards. Fuck. Because it comes from a backwards place, and we're taking the backwards shit and we're moving it. And now we're reversing time, and we're looking like, why would we say it's underachieving when he's achieving?
We just need
Why would Charles Barkley be the dude that's like, yeah, I never won a championship, so my career was shit?
That ain't what we saying. Nobody said that, bro.
I asked you that. You say yeah.
That's not saying that. That's not saying that his career was whack. That's not saying the same.
But he underachieved.
What is an underachiever?
So what is an underachiever then?
didn't win the
failure? Is it a failure?
To not win the chip?
Is the underachievement a failure?
You have achievements and unachievements in a career. You have some highs and you have some lows. It ain't just one is high, one is low. You have both. There's context. The such thing is context, bro.
So KG underachiever too?
Because he only got one chip.
He got one.
So needless to say, Gil's Arena did not agree with Stephen A's take on Giannis being an underachiever. And then we saw, or should I say LeBron spoke out about it about yesterday, I believe, the episode aired, and he spoke out about ring culture and how it's viewed, in today's society with sports, specifically basketball, football. And here's what he had to say if you didn't already see it.
A ring is a team accomplishment. I don't know where it started. It's just it's a long conversation, especially when it comes to me individually. I don't know why it's discussed so much in our sport. You tell me, Allen Iverson and Charles Barkley and Steve Nash, wasn't unbelievable. Like, oh, they can't be talked about or discussed with these guys just because this guy won 1 ring or won 2 rings or won like. It's just weird to me.
You know what? Honestly, I really feel like LeBron is being hypocritical. I say that because you are the one who left Cleveland to go to Miami to team with D-Wade, Chris Bosh, to what? Win a championship. Then once you won it there, you went back to Cleveland to deliver on your promise to bring the city a championship. There is nothing wrong, in my opinion, with a player who wants to get a championship. I feel like you should. If you are in the world of professional sports, NFL, golf, whatever it is, you should want to be at the highest of highs. You should want to be a household name. You dream about those things as a little kid. You work your behind off for years and years, training, sacrificing to get there, and you want to win. There's nothing wrong with that. But to say, well, I don't know why it's such a big thing. You left. Like, you are showing us why it's a big thing to get a championship. If you didn't think it was a big thing, or it hasn't been, it doesn't take away from the kind of career you had and your legacy, then why did you leave and go someplace else to get a championship? Then why do that? Kevin Durant, he left OKC, went to Golden State, he wanted to win. people should want to win, but I really feel like it boils down really to who the person is, because everybody does not have the same views and the same goals in life. You have some players who are perfectly fine being role players. You have some who want to be the face of the franchise. They want to be the face of the league. They want people to know who they are. They want to compete in the Olympics. It really depends on your goals. If you have a vision board, right? I have a vision board here in my apartment. I don't know if you guys do, right? But I believe in visualization, manifesting, speaking things into existence, right? I also, let you guys know a little secret about me, right? I also want to be a business owner. I always say, if you've been on my channel before and other videos, and I believe it in my core, the power is always in ownership, right? I always say that. But there's also people who are perfectly fine being an employee. Not everybody wants the responsibility of owning a franchise, owning their own restaurant, owning their own business. Some people are okay with clocking in and then going out. There are people who are fine with having an apartment or having a nice loft. Not everybody wants to be a homeowner, because with that, you have the HOAs. You gotta, maintain, your front lawn. They don't want to do all that. People are fine with having an apartment. They rent it somebody else. They have the maintenance men that come and do all the upkeep. They don't want that responsibility, and for that, that's fine. As it pertains to Giannis, right? Giannis said, if I could find the quotes, guys, I'll do another video. And I'm paraphrasing this. I'm not saying it, verbatim. He said, I forgot where I saw it, that should he not get another championship, he will not be able to sleep at night. That tells me that he feels like he will have underachieved if he does not get another ring. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with somebody having higher standards for themselves. We can't say there's something wrong with that. Now, from Stephen A's perspective, right, he did say Giannis was great. He didn't say Giannis was this awful player and he has achieved nothing if he never wins another championship again. But will he have underachieved given how great he is? From Stephen A's perspective, yes. From Giannis's own perspective, if you say out loud, you know what, I won't be able to sleep at night if I don't win the ring. And you can tell right now that he really wants to win, right? He's a competitor. It goes back to who you are in your core. Like I said before, you have some players perfectly fine, wants to get their contract, right? They're okay because they've achieved something that very, very few in life get to achieve. The 1% is very, very few that get there. I think what the league has 470 players, 450. One of the two, right? That's not a lot. You think about over the course of how many years, decades the sport has been played, and they have top 75 players, right? Damian Lillard, it's obvious he wants to win.
To win a championship, I want to win an MVP. That's what would make me happy. And when I turn that light off and I lay my head down, don't nobody got to deal with those feelings and what's in my head like I do.
He's older. He has everything. He has a lifetime deal with Adidas. He has his endorsements. He's successful. He has generational wealth. But you can tell he wants to win, which is why he left. And now he's in, Milwaukee, teaming with Giannis to win a championship. There's nothing wrong with that. Chris Paul has been playing for how long? Russell Westbrook been playing for I don't know how long. It's obvious they want to win. So I think it's very disingenuous for LeBron to say, well, I don't know why ring culture matters. Why wouldn't it matter to certain people? If people want to know what it feels like to hold that trophy up. And some people are just never going to get it. It's just not going to happen. But when you are the person who has, I'm not saying he's the only one, but you have shown this generation and those after you that winning matters. And to a certain degree, it does matter, right? When you think about the greats and the kind of conversations they're in, you compare them with other greats, like you're gonna say that people naturally, it's just winning matters. I mean, I feel like we can sit here and pretend like in the world of sports, like winning doesn't matter, and you can be great, but it doesn't mean that you've won. Like when it comes to Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, right? Those are my two favorite quarterbacks. And think about the conversation that surrounds them. It's always like they have to win at least one, right? Or at least get past Patrick Mahomes. Like they have to win at least one. And I think it's also a bit of a compliment, right? Because when people have expectations from you, that means they feel like you're very talented, like you're exceptional at what you do, whatever sport it is. It's like, okay, this person has MVPs. He's leading the league, and assists, rebounds, triple-double, double-double, whatever it is. He's leading scorer, 2 years in a row, 3 years in a row. Like people, when with greatness comes expectations. And I feel like that might be where the issue might be, because your expectations for me might not be what I have for myself. And I think that's where the problem might come in. But there's nothing wrong with a player. Like you heard on Gil's Arena, like they're like, well, they were debating going back and forth with, Stephen A being wrong for what he said at his viewpoint. And for them, they had that view like, okay, Giannis has achieved. Of course he has, given where he came from, how he started, where he is now. Of course he has achieved. Stephen didn't say he didn't achieve. He said he will have underachieved. And again, by Giannis's own logic and how he feels, it's obvious that he's dealing with, okay, do I stay? Do I go? Because I want to win. I feel like when you're a true competitor and you really want to win and you want to submit yourself in NBA history, NFL history, like you want to win. There's nothing wrong with that. And you have those players like, look, I got paid. My mom has a house. My family's good. My life is good. You know what I mean? I don't care if I win. I'm perfectly fine with coming in the game, playing 15 minutes or less, contributing my, 8, 9 points a game, 1 or 2 rebounds. And I'm cool with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. If you are that kind of person, if I'm out there sacrificing for years, decades, I want to be at the highest of highs. I want to compete. I want to win. There's no in between for me, but that's just who I am. That's who Kaja is. We have to look at who Giannis is, right? Look at who Rashad McCants is. Look at who Kenyon Martin Sr. is, right? Everybody has their own viewpoints. It's not wrong for me to want something different. It's not wrong for you to want something maybe a little bit less. People love to travel, right? I know I like to travel, right? I want to go see different places, different countries, cities, things like that. But then I have somebody else who's like, I'm in New York, you guys. I love New York. I would love to move and go someplace else, right? I've lived in Dallas. I went to high school in Dallas, right? But I'm New York. I'm from Brooklyn, if you guys didn't know that about me. But I think there's something, I would love to go someplace else and live someplace else, right? I'm working on it right now. But that's how I feel. I know somebody else who's like, I love New York. I don't need to go anyplace. I don't want to see anything else. And I'm like, you don't want to see anything else? Really? You don't even want to get the chance to experience something different? But that's that person's mindset. And while I don't agree, I can't say it's wrong, because you're entitled to feel the way that you feel. You're entitled to want what you want for your life, and that's on you. I don't have to agree with it. And some people find with just one. You have some who push themselves further. They're like, I don't want one. If I got one, I want two. And if I have two, I want to compete for three. Isn't that why I think you're playing the sport? You know what I mean? Once you've reached a certain place and you've been in the sport for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, you've made your money, you have the house, you have the cars, the wife that you want, all those different things, the shoes, jewelry. What else are you playing for? If it's not for a ring. What do you guys think, though, about this whole ring culture? Who do you think is responsible for it? And what do you think about Giannis specifically? Do you feel like he will have underachieved if he was retired tomorrow or never win again? Do you see him as underachieving in his career? Or you're like, no, he absolutely has achieved, and I'm great with where he is? I'm just curious to hear you guys' thoughts. Should I say read them? I'll see you guys, of course, in another video. Peace out.